This is Chapter 21 on video. The term video actually involves numerous parts of the PC that are designed to put a picture on the screen. The monitor is the primary output device for a PC. Monitors can come in three varieties: the old CRT, cathode ray tube, the LCD, flat screen, and projectors. The cathode ray tube, or CRT monitors, have a tube that contains 3 electron guns at the slender end and a screen coated with red, green, and blue light-sensitive phosphors at the wide end. The area of the phosphors lit in any instant is a pixel and consists of 1 red, 1 green, and 1 blue phosphor. Resolution is the number of horizontal pixels times the number of vertical pixels, such as 640 by 480, or 640 times 480, equals 307,200 individual pixels. Liquid crystal displays, or LCDs, are currently the most common display for PCs. They are thinner, lighter, and use less power than CRTs. The older LCD monitors consisted of the LCD panel, backlight, and an electrical inverter. Since they used a fluorescent backlight, a transformer had to be in it to convert the AC current to DC for the electronics, but an inverter converted the DC back to AC for the fluorescent backlight. Newer monitors actually use LED lights for the backlight, which then uses direct current, so they do not have to have a second inverter. LCD monitors have a native resolution and a fixed pixel size as well, unlike CRTs. So they can never display a higher resolution than their native resolution. And consequently, you should probably always use their native resolution. The brightness of an LCD monitor is determined by its backlight and is measured in nits. Higher numbers are brighter, and the average is about 300 nits. The time it takes for subpixels to go from black to pure white and back to black again is called the response rate, and it is normally measured in milliseconds. Lower numbers are faster, and an excellent response rate is 2 to 4 milliseconds. Also, a contrast rate of 40 to 1 or higher is better. LCD projectors also have a native resolution and are fairly lightweight. Projector brightness is measured in lumens, and the higher the number of lumens is brighter, and I would consider that better as well. The size of the viewing area at a certain distance from the screen is called its throw. Projector lamps, however, are expensive, and they are expensive to replace, but they do have to be replaced periodically, so keep that in mind when you're considering cost. Because of the difference in how you measure monitors, a 15-inch LCD screen might have the same size viewable image as a 17-inch CRT, so keep that in mind as well. Monitors usually have an onboard menu system to adjust brightness, contrast, image size, position, and color. There are 4 major audiovisual interfaces. You're probably familiar with HDMI from high-def television. There is also a VESA standard called DisplayPort. There is also the digital video interface, or DVI. And there is the older style SVGA array, which is the small blue connector. Onto the inside of the computer. The video or display card or graphics card process information from the CPU and send it to the monitor. It has 2 major pieces, the video RAM and the graphics processing unit, or GPU. The combination of resolution and color depth is called a mode. For instance, VGA is defined as 640 by 480 and 4-bit color. 4-bit color translates to 16 colors. Modern cards have many modes, and all of them are better than VGA. The accelerated graphics port, or AGP port, has its own bus its own pipeline commands, and its own system memory access. Therefore, AGP cards get their data to the processor quickly. I believe the AGP slot is fading out in favor of the PCI Express slot. PCI Express video cards currently dominate the market because they support many of the same features as AGP, but actually use a faster serial communication in PCI Express. There are three major manufacturers of graphics processors. They are AMD, they are NVIDIA, and Intel. If I am not mistaken, most people who prize video have a preference for either AMD or NVIDIA, and we're not going to have that argument here. The most important decision when buying a video card is the graphics processor, especially if it's going to be used for 3D games. To overcome the bottlenecks in graphics processing, GPUs use very up to GDDR5. Some motherboards do come with an onboard GPU, and also if you have a multi-core CPU, you may also get a GPU unit built into the multi-core GPU. However, a GPU that's built into the motherboard or the CPU does not have its RAM, graphic RAM, separate from the RAM of the computer. Most people prefer graphic cards to have their own faster RAM. Installing a video card is much the same as installing any other expansion card. Just be careful with the longer cards that they A, fit in the case, B, don't pull cables loose as you get them in, other things like that. So just be careful. Drivers are also the same, either already included or they have to be installed. Basic rule is always uninstall old drivers first before you install a new card. You can configure 2 or more monitors by using a video card with more than one output or by using more than one video card. Do your research if you're trying to do this. Make sure your cards, monitors, etc. are compatible. Video cards use APIs or application programming interfaces to translate instructions to and from the video device driver. The most popular APIs are OpenGPL and DirectX. Windows 7 and Windows 8 come with DirectX 11 built into them. So you can see the graphics there for the difference between 9 and 10. Mostly see the difference in the water and the sky. Troubleshooting some video problems. Video problems generally fall into one of 2 categories. They're either card or driver related or monitor related. If your screen is black or garbled after you install a new driver, you need to roll the driver back. If there's still a problem, it may be that the card needs to be replaced. Ghosting or lines on the screen can be caused by a bad or improperly connected video cable. Check the cable for bent pins. The graphic on the screen shows a couple of bent pins on that graphic adapter. Never clean your monitors with glass cleaners or other liquids. Just use a soft, damp cloth. This was a real problem when the LCD screens first came out. Glass cleaners will destroy the coating on the screen and make it almost unviewable. Never open a monitor, especially a CRT. They have very high voltage power inside and that can harm or kill you. Ask me about my story about CRT sometime. The cracked LCD monitor basically just has to be replaced. If it goes dark, begins to hiss, or develops bad pixels, replacement is also the best idea. And always remember, keep calm and document everything.